Hi guys, and happy Wednesday. We are here live in studio at Social Media Shows here for the Hot Seat with Priscilla. I am your host, Priscilla Moy, and every week we come here and we introduce who's who in here in Las Vegas and around the world if they are visiting. We literally go live in studio in real time talking to people who are proficient in their craft and who have a story to tell. Every time they come and they sit in this amazing seat right here, I'm always inspired by their passion for what they do, how they got there, and why they continue to do what they do. It's important to share to viewers like you, people like this, so you guys can continue to follow your dreams and to really see what goes behind the scenes in whatever they do, whether it be in production, in film, photography, modeling, culinary arts, politics, business, all of the above. We overlook all areas in life. It's never just focusing on people in film and are on camera. So with that being said, after the break, we're going to jump right into it to have one of our first guests, and I can't wait for you to meet her because she is a woman of many talents. So make sure to grab your lunch, grab your drinks, and to stay tuned to meet her and to hear about her story. See you soon.
This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak. If you want to buy or sell a home, call Michelle, 702-683-6576.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Shopping for a new home is an exciting time, and the mortgage process just got easier. New American Funding's all-digital mortgage application takes all the hassle out of applying for a mortgage. Simply put in your information and we do the rest. Safely and securely verify your income, assets, and tax information electronically. Plus, you get access to track the progress of your application anytime, anywhere. Less questions, less paperwork, less hassle, and instant access. Ready to start shopping for your new home? Let's get started.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. We're going to jump right in and get to our first guest. She's a person who has so many talents in front and behind the camera. We're going to find out in front because she's going to probably be really great at talking about everything that she's doing and very intellectual in what she does. She's prominent in photography and film and also has a little culinary art side to her as made it her business. So everyone, please welcome Ms. Amber Starr. Thank you so much for coming. It is a pleasure to meet you. Please sit. You're our first guest today on the Hot Seat, and I cannot wait to get to know more about you. I'm so glad that you're here today.
It's an honor. Thank you so much.
So, on your website, you have a lot of things going on. First, it's a great photo of you.
Thanks.
Like, it's obvious that she's holding a camera, and she's a photographer, and she's obviously great at what she does. And then you also have a section where you do sell treats like macaroons and things like that. You are prominent in culinary arts because that's something that you kind of love on the side of everything else. So please tell the viewers like what it is, like what's the start? How did you get into doing all of these things?
Oh, wow. So my love of photography and video work started a long time ago. I actually was a photographer's assistant in a studio growing up, and so it caught my eye to take people's pictures, and then I became curious about their stories, so I just wanted to continue. I couldn't get enough. I went to school, got my bachelor's degree, and I kind of fell out of my love. I think we all kind of get burnout on things, right? And so on the side, something that I've always done is my sweet treats. And by the encouragement of family and friends, they asked me to start selling it. And so I make all these cake bombs and sugar spears and macaroons, all kinds of sweet stuff. And that encouraged me to pick up my camera again. So sometimes as an artist, we kind of devil out of things, right? And then it takes another art form for us to get back into it. So that's my story.
Yeah, so what really drew you? What was really the motivation that you're like, oh my God, I want to be involved in camera work in the beginning?
I think it was just having these simple conversations with people. I feel that God has blessed me with 2 ears and 2 eyes, right? And I'm really good at listening to people. And so I've always had this gift of having these conversations and pulling the best information out of people. And because of that, it just drew me to small businesses or people who are starting in their crafts, learning more about themselves and getting the best information so that they can talk about themselves the best way.
Yeah, I noticed when you write about, kind of a short biography on your page, you talk about learning about people and their stories, just kind of like how I do here, but you bring it out in a way that you showcase it on camera. Because a lot of times people, even in this situation, we have a camera here, even though we're talking, it takes a minute for people to really showcase who they truly are and how to bring that out. So is there a way that you might talk to a client or do a certain job or even on your own collab time that you'll kind of bring that form out of them in form of a picture?
So I think it's really important to take time to get to know your client, who you're talking to. Just like you looked up all of my information about what I do. I take time to have conversations and listen to people about what their fire is and what their passion is. I also take time to interview 2 or 3 people that are around them. Maybe their spouse or maybe their best friend or maybe an assistant that works for them. And I ask them a series of questions that kind of give me insight about a person that they don't really see. Because there's lots of different perspectives that we have about ourselves, right? And we can't always see them. And so I use those resources of people who love them and care about them and want them to flourish. I ask them those questions and then I guide them with that information to bring out their light.
Yeah, I love that.
Thanks.
So that means you care.
I
It means
do.
you put time and effort into making something of quality.
Absolutely.
Right? You don't just take pictures or film something just for content's sake. You do it to actually have meaning behind those things. So is there something that is probably your favorite work of art in regards to either film or photography that you've done that still stick with you to this day?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I think, honestly, I really like taking pictures of food. I do. I love taking pictures of food. To me, as a photographer and video work, lights is really important to me. And the register of that, creating that dimension. So I would say food, any kind of still work, or even just, fine art portraiture, I would think would be as far as people goes. But yeah, that would be it.
Yeah, more food photography, product photography.
I do. They don't back talk. I can post them however I want.
You do it, right? And it's an
they
art.
stay still. They don't go anywhere.
And because you have baking experience, cooking experience, you kind of know like what's really aesthetically pleasing.
Yes.
Because even when we watch commercials of restaurants and things like that, they make the time they spend to do that one shot. Right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of care into that one thing to make it picture perfect.
Absolutely.
Like we're talking like 6 hours for like that one burger.
Yeah. And all the tricks in the trade and the hairspray and the glue and the, the misting. It's crazy the amount of effort that we put in to make things look perfect, for the screen or for pictures. So. Yeah. But it's fun. I like that.
So where is your passion going towards the film aspect? Are you more commercial? Are you trying to get more into like literal movies and things like that? Or you just do a lot of B-roll?
That's a great question. Yeah. I think my passion and my calling has been, I really just want to tell stories about our small businesses. I really want to help people grow and shine. I think people's light to shine bright in the world is important. And I want to highlight that, and I want to give them those opportunities to make them grow and showcase what their talents are. So I would say more storytelling and a commercial, maybe news, editorial, things like that.
Yeah.
That's what's my calling. That's what's on my heart right now. So.
I can see documentary for you too.
Absolutely.
Some local documentary. A lot of things, because that's where true talent lies. You see a lot of people who really work from the bottom to get to the top, and they're just trying to thrive doing what they love, and that comes from people who put their heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
So a lot of times that's local places, mom and pop shops, things like that, where you wouldn't normally go.
Right.
Not as commercialized as the celebrity chefs on the strip, the hotels, things like that.
And they need light too, you know?
Yeah, everyone does.
Everybody needs light.
It's a giving culture when it comes to entertainment, which, you know, culinary arts, in a way, is part of that. It's an art. It's trying to, you know, do all of those things. So I know that you grew up in Ohio, like in the Midwest. I'm from Chicago, so we kind of have that in common.
Yeah.
But so you grew up there, you know, you're really inspired by, was it your family, your mother in particular, that loved to bake and cook and stuff?
So my mom, she was a jack of all trades, right? Just kind of, I guess, kind of like myself. She was a beautician for years, and she did people's hair, but she had a side love of food. And she just had this way of tasting anything in a restaurant or wherever she went, and she would come home and she would identically make it just by her taste buds. She was just so magical about that. And so I grew up in that cooking and getting in the kitchen and experimenting with things. And so that was something that I always grew up in and found love in. And so as I started with my chocolates and candies, that's really what I started making. I gave away for Christmas gifts, and then it started evolving into these cake bombs that look like flowers, and then sugar spheres, and it just went into a whole this, you know how things kind of morph into other bigger things. Yeah, that's kind of how I started, but.
Yeah. So as of today, you that became your specialty, more so the baking and doing sweets. And like I was just telling a friend recently, like a lot of people are really great at baking, and then some people are really good at cooking, but sometimes like it doesn't like collide. Like I can't baking to me for some reason. It's just not a thing on my end. But like, you know, on a stove, I could be up there making something edible, but it's just a lot goes in to having the right sweet treats, because you don't want it to be that, because like it's a bit part of your business. And do you get a lot of clients that come back that are really, you know, loyal to you, and is that a really thriving business?
I really do. I have, you know, a select few that have been going strong. I've only really been pushing this business and my sweet treats for about a year. But I have about a handful of a following that come back for any kind of needs if they want to give gifts. But, you know, going back to what you were saying, cooking and baking are completely different. Cooking is more of an expression, right? It's more of, I think there's more art to that. Even though baking is an art form, it's more precise, kind of mathematical.
It is.
Because you have to do it just right. But yeah, I just enjoy it, and it seems like the customers that I do have that keep coming back, they see what I do, and they enjoy what I make for them, so they keep coming back for more.
That's just a compliment to you, because any chef, any person who makes something edible, is just kind of like, oh my god, if they love it, then like that's all I need. I don't care, right? Like, oh my god, like thank you, because you're just hoping that, oh my god, if I mess this up, like right. And I also know that you have your BA in digital photography as well. So a big debate that goes around in entertainment is kind of like, people think that you don't really need an education behind the crafts that go into entertainment, whether it be acting, photography, producing, you get it, right? I'm on the end that I feel like it's very helpful to have the education and that training. It kind of gives you more of a foundation. How was that experience for you in training under photography? Because it came from a passion that you have. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm personally kind of torn with education and versus experience, because I think with you know, video and photography, it really is about hands-on. So I think a lot of can be said about a person who just hops in and jumps in and gets their hands, roll up their sleeves, gets dirty in it, and that tenure. But I think the educational part, for me, the reason why I wanted my bachelor's is because I felt going into the commercial aspect or advertising aspect, it was important for me to have that piece of paper for seriousness, I guess, if that means anything. But to me, I wanted people to take me serious and know that I had invested the time that school provides you with, showing that you go through those, you put the time in, right? So that's why that was important to me. But I still am on the fence, because I know that if I would not have done my bachelor's, I still think I would have learned as much at being a shadow to someone too. So I think it depends on like what realm you want to go into and what you're trying to communicate or who you want to work with, right? For me, because I wanted to go into the advertising and commercial work, I felt like having that bachelor's was kind of like a more professional stance for me as a woman. So
when it comes to marketing, especially these days, people are, it's a whole thing. Social media, you know, billboards, online presence. In marketing, a lot of people are fighting for those spots because, you know, and so a lot, that's why, and it's competitive across the board, especially in any art culture. But and I realized having that training experience on top of then also going out there and just learning as you're doing, you have something that no one can take away from you.
Exactly.
You know, and you can't, you know, if you try to go backtrack and go back and get it, that's like time, right? And it took a while, and it's a lot of work, and it's to center yourself and humble yourself, and then just letting go and being like, just tell me, what am I doing today, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And learning things that you might not necessarily ever use, but it's having that, you know, discipline. Like, okay, this is the assignment today. This is what I'm doing, and it's not maybe my passion when I want to end up doing in photography, but you have that skill in the event a job does come to you and says, hey, editorial, we're going to do something on ABCFG. You're like, all right, well, I know ABC, like, you know how to do that stepwise.
No, exactly. You definitely hit it on the nail. I think it proves that you've had that experience and that dabble in different kind of areas to make you a multiverse tool, right? Because that's great to be, you know, jack of all trades.
Yeah, being a woman, you're like, hey, you know, you gotta own it, right?
And I hate to say this, just because I don't know, but I also felt that going into photo and video as a woman, I wasn't being taken as serious, learning on my own. It's kind of a man's world. And I don't like saying that because I think we're everywhere. We can do whatever we want. But it really is kind of a man's profession. And so for a woman to hop in, it was important to have that piece of paper to say, hey, like, I really know what I'm talking about. I'm not just a dumb blonde.
Like, please take me seriously. Please respect me as equal. Which is all kind of that we ask for. Just don't talk down to me like, oh. You know, it's the proving yourself that kind of takes a lot of work. So is there anything that you're working on now that you can kind of talk about? Like, where is your life kind of leading at this moment in time?
So right now I have my food photography on display at the Arts Factory. Nice. To me, that is an honor. If anyone knows about the art scene here in Vegas, the Arts Factory, I believe, is the heartbeat. I have my food photography on display in the Libra and Leo room. It's on the second floor in room 248. You can go in there and you can see all my sweet treats. That's what I have up there for display. And so what I'm actually looking to do, Libra and Leo, she's a candle maker. And she makes all natural candles. She's a fabulous woman. Everything is with intention. And her room is with intention. She hand selects the people who come in and are guest vendors. And so the space is not just for her. It's for multiple vendors of things that people make with their hands, their heart, their intentions behind it. So we have quite a few different vendors in that room, in that space. And my goal is to tell each of their stories. We have Cactus Jeff, we have Sensual Healing for Vegas with Angelina. We have all kinds of people in there. So I think I'm going to start there and then see where it all goes.
That's actually a great kind of way to work the room.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. So I'm sure there's a story behind everything, and it comes full circle because that's why you're here, and I would love to hear that because every artist, there's something behind it that makes this art into what it is. And so
what's
who
the
are the
why?
people?
Right.
Like, what's the why?
Yeah.
And how? And, like, you know, what is the end goal? And so that leads me to say to you is that, like, where are you looking to end up? What kind of legacy are you trying to leave behind for yourself?
Wow, that's such a big question. I don't know. I think I just want to, I'm a big believer in storytelling. I think we all have a story and we all need to share it so that we can inspire the next person coming along, to help them learn from our mistakes so that they do better. I think just my legacy is just to help people tell their stories, share them in the most brightful way, and so that everyone can be successful, and hopefully that can be infectious and contagious to other people too.
Yeah, that's why I can't wait. I think you should really do a documentary. That'd be fantastic.
Wow.
How long have you been in Vegas?
So I moved here in 2010.
Okay.
And I actually started a documentary with an artist in the Arts Factory, but he passed away. And I still have a lot of footage of his, so I'm hoping to pick that up. I've kind of healed his loss. That was a rough loss, but I've been here since 2010. I married a sailor and left for 3 years and went to Connecticut, and then we decided to retire here, so we'll be back in 2019.
Okay.
So I've been here kind of off and on for almost 13 years, I guess.
So you came back to a whole new Las Vegas.
It was
since
crazy.
you left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the art team's picking up too, like in all areas of art.
Oh, I'm so hopeful and so joyful at what has happened on Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
Just from the time that I left in 2016 and came back in 2019, and just in that amount of time, it was kind of a sketchy area. I mean, there was a lot going on. It wasn't really the warm and cuddly safest place.
Yeah.
And you know, people like Derek at Rebar and recycled propaganda folks and the antique Main Street peddlers. They've really invested in that part, and it's just so nice to see it bright and thriving. You know?
Yeah,
I
the
love
arts
it.
district is really thriving right now,
It
especially
is.
for the locals and the newer generation that's coming in, performing, loving music, songwriting, things like that, which is so interesting because we had a talk show before this, and we actually were talking about maritime culture and then also about downtown. So it's interesting that you were like, oh, I married a sailor, and then Main Street, downtown. I was like, oh my god, it came full circle.
It does.
Like,
Isn't that funny? It does.
it's amazing. So where really is your goal, apart from telling stories? Is there some place that you want to settle here? Do you want to contribute to Las Vegas art culture, or do you want to expand?
I don't know yet, to be honest. I mean, I'm not sure. Because I had lost my love of doing photography and video work, I just started back into it, getting that passion back. Because for a long time I was really bitter. I didn't want to pick up my camera equipment. I didn't want to touch my lighting. It was a sad place, you know, when you find joy in something that you love and then you lose it like that. It was sad. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I love that.
Just follow God's plan.
Yeah. And I always ask kind of this last question to all of my guests because it kind of sums up their whole interview, how they answer this question. And it's, is there a philosophy that you live by?
I would just say live bright. That's it. Live bright and shine bright.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brightest you possibly can.
Like Main Street is now.
Yeah.
It comes full circle. I love hearing the answer because whenever they say anything, it really sums up your whole vibe. The story that you told and how you answered just shows kind of the authenticity of your story, why you do what you do, and all of those things, which is amazing because every answer is different. Everyone has a different path that they're going on. And what they say really matches up in the end with how they answer that question. And I love that because you're just kind of going with your heart. And the true artist, actually, is artists that kind of do those things. Now, where can people find you, whether to order kind of your sweet treats or to kind of maybe look at your photography or maybe even hire you as like client-wise?
So I would just say pop on down to the Arts Factory. I'm always down there in the Libra and Leo room on the second floor. You can find displays of my sweet treats. I also do pop-ups in there throughout the month. And you can also order online. All my sweet treats, definitely check that out. There's some fabulous stuff, especially if you like to entertain. That's at starrsview.com.
Yeah, amazing. You do social media at all? Instagram, Facebook?
I do,
Oh,
I do.
okay.
Yep.
Is that at Amber Starr?
So my photography is a Starr's View for you, and then my sweet treats is a Starr's View sweet treats. That's it. Very simple.
There you go, guys. The woman, a jack of all trades, just kind of like your mother. We love it though. In Vegas, the people here there's never one that just kind of does one thing.
Yeah.
It's a place where anyone can be accepted doing whatever they do and stick to their own vision. And you are the epitome of that. And we love to see it. I love your contribution to the Arts District. I think there's a lot of people that want to showcase what they do, whether it's painting, drawing, sketching, digital forms. So I'm glad that you already are showcasing and you're there and you're passionate and supporting the arts. Amber Starr, everyone, thank you for being here on the hot seat. It was a great story. I hope to have you back soon.
Absolutely.
Definitely going to check out your pages. It's amazing. So guys, don't go anywhere because we are going to meet our next guest, who is another powerhouse woman, so you don't want to miss that. See you after the break.
It's a tough market. We get it. Home inventory is at an all-time low. It's a seller's market, and cash buyers have the advantage. Recently, cash buyers made up more than a quarter of all home purchases. But we have the solution. New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program allows your buyers to compete with all cash offers by becoming cash buyers themselves. Here's how it works. Buyer Accepted LLC, an affiliated company of New American Funding, will purchase your buyer's new home with cash and sell it back to them for the original purchase price, plus a fee that can be added to the purchase of the home once they secure mortgage financing with New American Funding. The best part is that they don't need to sell their current home first. This is a true cash offer. Clients who use our Buyer Accepted program can secure financing using a conventional loan and even VA. Plus, there are no fees for agents and no sacrificing commissions. Buyer Accepted even offers a free 1-hour certification course that will make you the expert. You want to close more deals and help more clients? New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program is the answer.
Hi, I'm Deacon T with Modern Word Ministries. It's great to be with you today. Just a short little promo for our show. Every Sunday morning we have service, and you can follow us at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on modernwordministries.org. And if you missed us or you want to see some of our older messages, go ahead and check us out on socialmediashows.com every single morning at 9 a.m. It's a great way to kick off your day, get a little bit of the word in you, get something uplifting, get you started off on your way. You know, if you're looking for prayer or you need some help, reach out to us. If you go to our website, again, that's modernwordministries.org, you can interact with me via telephone, via DM, text message, whatever you want. I'll get right back to you. So if you need prayer, you need help, you just need somebody to talk to, Modern Word Ministries is here for you. We are your church in the community. So until you see you next time, be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Strip Tea. I am your host Priscilla Moy, and we just got done meeting an amazing guest. She was a jack of all trades, not very different from our next guest that I'm going to bring on. She started her journey as a teacher and a psychotherapist, and now she's an actress, a singer, and a model with DreamTraxx. So we cannot wait to hear her story and kind of what drives her to do what she does. So everyone, please welcome Carmynn Bradley. Nice to meet you.
How
Love
are
the
you?
tattoos, the
Thank
outfit.
you.
Thank you. Please take a seat.
Yeah,
Welcome
of
to the
course.
hot seat.
Thank you.
So you have also a lot going on. You
Yes,
have
I do.
a great history with education and all those things, and you're now going more towards like the art realm of stuff. Dawn actually is part of social media shows. She's the host of Vegas Views, so this is kind of where like the tie comes in.
Yeah.
But please let us, the viewers, know kind of your start when it came out and you just started as a teacher and how that led you to what you do now.
Oh yeah, for sure. I used to sing to my students
Okay.
They were
All
the
right.
ones that kind of, there's been people on like American Idol who are like, my students encouraged me to like come on this show. They were always encouraging me to kind of like follow my dreams. And I would always tell them like, I'm going to be in movies one day and I'm going to sing. But for a while I just wasn't, because you live like a traditional life and you have a 401k and it's scary to leave all of that.
Right.
So it's taken me some time, but things have happened and I've kind of just been pushed toward what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So what really drove you to teach, and particularly English? What was that motivation?
Now that I'm like here talking about it, I feel like it was a love of the art back then too, because I actually went to school for writing. I became an English teacher, but I loved writing my own stuff and teaching writing and like teaching the artistic process of like creating it and finding your own voice.
Yeah.
So again, it was kind of like the platform for where I'm at now, where I'm singing and I'm writing music.
Yeah.
I had to do all of that to get here.
Yeah. Romantic literature, I feel like, is kind of your right. Start for the arts, like anything that has to do with literature, and a lot of that kind of ends up you going along that art form. What grade did you teach?
I taught mostly 9th graders.
Okay, so older.
Yeah,
So you were
but
able
I
to
had
connect with them
seniors
that way. All right.
most recently, so I taught like AP Lit. So it was just like really dove into literature and like the history of it and how it impacted our world. And
which is very important to know.
Yeah.
We were just talking another talk show before this, and it kind of drives in about how history is important to people that are now, whether you're in, trending, social media, all that stuff. There's something that led us here, and how important that is.
Yeah.
So you also had this thing in your bio that talked about psychotherapy. So tell us a little bit about that and what that realm of your life is like.
Yeah, so I just recently stepped out of that career also to focus on the arts, but I spent a couple years working with people who had anxiety, PTSD, lots of trauma, people just trying to figure out their life, like a lot of existential crisis. And I got pushed into that through teaching as well, because a lot of the kids just didn't have the mental health support that they need. Like schools don't have as many therapists as they need to. I have this vision in my head where like every classroom has a therapist in it. That would be something that, like a long-term goal that I would want to help create in our world. So I spent a little time in the industry helping people out, healing from my own stuff, like helping people heal, hearing their stories. And I think I was telling the guys outside that like I want to do comedy around mental health, because I really do want to like wake people up to that. Like healing is real. That's my thing. Healing is real. Like
mental health is real.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So after you kind of switched gears, what was the deciding factor for you that you woke up one day and you said, this is it. I have to follow my heart, follow my dreams?
Man, I'm trying to like pinpoint that one moment.
Because even though it's been ongoing, you've had it for a while, but something woke you up one day and said, today's the day, right?
Yeah, I think what happened is I got a part in like a local film, and I had to cancel my clients like during the week to make time for what I wanted to do. And what I realized is that I needed the time to do what I wanted to do, and it became clear at that point that I needed to be available and I needed to not like be afraid, especially with money. Money's the scariest thing, about stepping into an unknown world. But yeah, it was when I got that part that I realized, like, this is it. I just gotta go full force.
Yeah, I love that. It was meant to be that way, though, that you got that role.
Yeah.
Now, are you originally from here? Where are you originally from?
I'm from California.
California.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long have you been in Las Vegas?
About 5 years.
Okay, so not that long. So you kind of seen how things are slowly building up when it comes to the arts.
Yes.
And what is your take on that? Where do you kind of see Las Vegas going towards?
Yeah, I think like timing is everything, and that story about me getting that role, I think that's kind of like happening to Vegas as like an entity, like producers are coming here, the strike is happening, like it feels like things are rolling and that I'm a part of it, and that was something that I really wanted to do, is jump in, find a community, like write things with people, produce movies even if I'm not making money, just to kind of get out there. And I think I can feel it. It's like an energy around us.
Energy, I understand that like you want to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's kind of, that's how I feel in a way.
Yeah.
So once you decided to start following your heart and doing something more in the art form, do you have any training alongside these things, or did you just kind of jump into it and just kind of figure it out?
I've been training with DreamTraxx Academy for acting. For singing, I was going to Don't Tell Mama. Do you know
Oh,
that
okay,
is?
yes, I do know where that
Yeah.
is. I know some of the resident singers there. I love that. Yeah.
So I sub there sometimes.
Okay.
I just started going there as a patron.
Yeah.
And then I was just, like, I found myself singing for 8 hours a day to, like, prep to go there. I just recently got formal training with a friend of mine for my voice, but singing I've always done it since I was a kid. But yeah, I just kept going, kept getting better, kept getting louder, kept getting more confident, eventually started working there. And then acting training kind of followed. There's just something that was like nagging at me, and one day I just like Googled and found DreamTraxx and showed up, and then I ended up competing in New York a couple weeks ago. So it's just been, like once the ball gets rolling, it just kind of gets faster and faster.
Yeah. So how was the convention in New York? IMTA, correct?
Yeah.
How was that experience for you? Did you end up getting signed by anybody at this convention? Because I know that kind of is what happens, right? You do a showcase, and then you have a convention, and agents from across the country are there around the world sometimes. Watching, right?
That was the goal. I'm still waiting to hear back from a couple of people. So it's interesting because I thought that like I would be signed, and I don't know, I had this picture in my head that I would get some kind of contract and get a lot of money. And that's not what happened, and yet so many doors have opened since I've come back. I'm working with a producer on a character we're building for me in a movie. I'm working with another friend, trying to be a part of the production side of his film. I got a part in a series. I've been building up my own portfolio, like actors' reels, taking more headshots. It just seems like things have just kind of been happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, not in the way that I thought it would, and I learned a lot while I was there about like not taking things so seriously was probably my biggest personal lesson. Like I was putting myself in a box, and I want to have more fun with my art and not put so many like expectations on myself. So it was life-changing for sure.
Yeah. I mean, with places like those academies, like mother agencies is what we would call them in the industry. And then you end up in showcases. A lot of that is selling the dream. But what a lot of people don't understand is when you go there, you're a number, right? It's a cattle call audition. And you can experience it, but there's no guarantee that you are going to end up becoming what you are trained to become. And that's what a lot of mother agencies don't tell, is a lot of those experiences, which doesn't mean it's not a bad experience, because sometimes that can catapult you if you are lucky. If you do a runway part of the audition and you are trying to be a model, like that's kind of what ends up happening. But in the end, it worked out in a different way that would be more fitting for you and your type. So when it comes to modeling, I know that was also in your bio. Is that something that you're also trying to go towards, apart from doing headshot photo shoots?
Yeah, I am. Actually, right now, my next step is in regards to an agent is to get into one just for modeling. Because like I said, I have a lot of like acting projects right now. So I want to get into an agency so I can like make money through modeling. That's kind of like my plan to support the rest of it. Yeah, that modeling is hardest for me amidst all of them. There's a lot of like psyche stuff I've had to overcome.
There's a lot of things that go into each realm of the music, the film, and then fashion modeling side. So I'm just at the end of the day, though, it kind of sparked your initiative, and I had to kind of go and just figure things out, because everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to have a different journey. Right? So is there what kind of motivates you to get up every single day to continue to push? Because I'm sure that you've also encountered, like every artist has, if an artist says they haven't, they're lying, something that they're like, oh my God, like I feel like nothing's happening, everyone hates me, everything I put out, everyone's criticizing. Like, how do you get past that for yourself?
I was thinking about something earlier. When I was at the convention in New York, I went to a songwriting chat, I guess, with like, producers and record labels. It was just kind of like a Q&A sort of thing, and we were talking about just like owning if something that you do is good, and just continue writing, write a song, acknowledge if you like your work, acknowledge if you don't like your work, just keep doing it. Kind of like what I said earlier, like don't take it too seriously. I guess for me, what's getting me up is just like being in the moment, like whatever it is that I feel compelled to do in a moment. Write a song, do a melody, practice my guitar. I've been teaching some guitar. I don't know. I'm not articulating this in a very clear way, I don't think, but I guess I think it's because I feel pretty motivated right now. Like I haven't really been in a rut. I feel like I get up every day and there's something that I'm looking forward to. My trap is when I get too distracted.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's too many things going on, so I'm not finishing a song because I'm focusing on too many different projects. So I'm learning how to kind of narrow. I think all artists have ADHD.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? It's like
Another
if you have
thing,
ADHD,
if they say they
you're
don't,
an
they're
artist.
lying. Yeah. The brain's always going. It
Yeah.
doesn't stop. It's so bad, trust me.
Yeah.
But so you write your own music, which we are going to hear you play after your interview. But what do you normally write about? What's your inspiration? Where does it come from?
Emotions.
Okay.
Yeah. Melodies just kind of come out of me. Like I kind of just vomit them.
Yeah.
So like if something happens, I come home and then like if I have the time and the space, I just start singing.
Yeah.
So I was telling again the guys outside that I'm filling in on music theory that I didn't learn as a kid, so that I can write music to support the melodies that I feel like are naturally coming out as an artist. But I've written songs about like a lot of loss. I was on the show with Dawn like 2 months ago or something talking about my brother who passed away 7 years ago, so I've written songs about that. I've got some like uplifting, almost like, you know that song from Shakira in that Zootopia, like try everything, like songs that are like get it girl, like that kind of thing, just like motivational ones.
Self-confidence.
Yeah.
Like, we love that though.
Yeah.
Having versatility in anyone's art, especially music, is
Yeah.
something, and having music theory and composition training and things like that is production as well. Is very, very, especially when we are a recording artist, is very prevalent.
Yeah.
So what's the legacy that you do want to leave behind in regards to the arts? What are you striving to end up? What's your end goal?
I'm glad you asked me that question because I can kind of mull it over. But I know mental health is very important to me. Like that's the first thing that comes to mind, is that I think that I would like to have the type of voice that people listen to so that they feel compelled to take the leaps that I've taken, like live the life that you want to live. I want people to see me like smiling and happy and not regretful of my decisions and be like, man, like if I've been doing something for years I don't really want to do, like doesn't matter how old I am, I want to take the jump into who I want to be, like authenticity, genuineness, all of that.
Yeah, and that lacks a lot sometimes when people hit a rate of stardom. You know, the humbleness goes, they're just trying to make things that could be viral, but there's no heart in it alongside, so it's not their true selves, which I feel the art is lacking a lot, especially with TikTok being very prevalent, Reels, you know, everyone's trying to create something fake to mask its reality to be seen and adored over and monetized, which that's a part of social media that I don't like. So when it comes to true artists that are like, you know what, I'm just gonna march my own beat, I'm gonna put out stuff that at least I enjoy because that's what I find meaningful, it's gonna be longer lasting than a trend, right? And that's kind of how I feel that a lot of artists these days are, you know, they're struggling with, because they're like, I want to be famous, and how to get there is I just have to do stuff that's going to get my face out there. Algorithms, trends, TikTok dances, right? TikTok challenges, like what's popping now? What song do I use? And to me, I'm like, but I don't like that song, so I'm not going to use it. Yeah, but you have to, and I don't have to do anything. So what I love is that you have your own sense of self.
Thanks.
And it comes from your own emotions and what's true to you, because what people forget is we all live different lives. So what works for them is not something that you'll ever experience because you didn't live the same life they did. So how you channel things is going to be completely different, and that's going to motivate you and push you farther in this world of competitiveness versus others, which I find very endearing. And so congratulations to you. But one more question I ask this of all of my guests, because it sums up kind of everything that you said about yourself and your journey, and what is there a philosophy that you live by?
Is there a philosophy that I live by?
Yes.
I'm kind of crazy. I have like like mantras that, again,
Okay.
it's kind of like those melodies,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
things
yeah,
that
yeah.
come out. So I think it changes, but the one that's the most prevalent lately has just been be in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Be in the moment, like
Yeah.
feel it out, connect with who's in front of you, take advantage of what it is you need to do in every single moment, and like not worrying so much about the future. Was something that I was thinking about when you were talking was just like that, not letting fear overtake you. Like whatever is driving you should be something that you believe in. You're driven by passion, you're driven by love, you're driven by connection. Fear is always there, and it's so easy to follow that. Like, I'm so afraid that my art won't make money that I'll lean into those algorithms and try to sell something that isn't me. Versus like if I'm in the moment and I'm leaning into my passion, there's no guarantee that it will bring anything.
Right.
But I'm just trusting that like it will. You
Because
know?
the people that have made it, they're all different. They all
Yeah.
have something they bring to the table. Lady
Yeah.
Gaga is not the same as Beyonce. It's not the same as Tony Bennett. You know, it's not the same as boy groups like the Backstreet Boys, right?
Yeah.
Everything just kind of has its own thing.
Yeah.
And to be the same, trending, might last for like a little bit, but like will you build something
Yeah.
that can inspire others in the end,
Yeah.
which is what art should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Inspire other people. So
Definitely.
you are performing for us. What is the song that you'll be performing?
I'm gonna do a cover of Alanis Morissette's "Ironic."
Oh, I love that. It's very fitting to your style. That's more fitting to your style.
Yeah.
Do you have a personal connection with the song, or is this just a song that you
Yeah,
love?
life has been interesting for me in my personal world lately. It's
Yeah.
been crazy and unexpected and beautiful and ugly and ironic. Yeah.
You live day by day, right? Like we love it. We love to hear it. See, that question that I ask always like just showcases you as a whole,
Yeah.
and I love hearing the answer because I'm like, it makes total sense. It's like the authenticity of the answer just shows your authenticity in the interview, which is great. Now, where can people find you and kind of maybe look to you to maybe hire you as an actress, a model, whatever? singer,
Yeah.
songwriter?
Carmynn Bradley at gmail.com, Carmynn Bradley on Facebook, Carmynn_Bradley on Instagram, and you can find me subbing at Don't Tell Mama sometimes. So look out for their Facebook because you might see my face on there. But yeah, I'm looking to act. I'm looking to sing. I want a band. If there's anybody out there that wants a singer who's a musician who's been looking for that, that's the thing I've been manifesting the most. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Maybe after today,
Yeah.
you're going to see your true talents performing Alanis Morissette, today. So everyone, Carmynn Bradley, make sure to don't go anywhere. Thank you so much for being on the hot seat. We're so glad to have you. And she's not done because she is going to sing that Alanis Morissette cover after the break. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere. And everyone, just make sure to follow her. Give her one more round of applause, everyone, for being here, opening herself up to all the viewers like you, and just being honest and her true, genuine, authentic self. So make sure to go anywhere. We'll be right here after the break. See you then.
Las Vegas, here we come!
I can't believe we're all moving to Vegas.
I know, right? It's a dream come true.
Wow, super creepy dude.
Mason, stop. I think he heard you.
What if he has someone locked up in the back of his Similar? She's gone. Someone took her.
Who's that creepy trucker?
What are you doing?
They call me Mother Trucker.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Old man turned 98. He won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon, 2 minutes too late. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. It's a good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Mr. Play It Safe was afraid to fly. He packed his suitcase, kissed his kids goodbye. He waited his whole damn life to take that flight. And when the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. It's a good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Life is a funny way of sneaking up on you when you think everything's okay and everything's gone right. Life is a funny way of helping you out when you think everything's gone wrong and everything blows up in your face. It's a traffic jam when you're already late. No smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. It's a good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figured? Life is a funny way of sneaking up on you. Life is a funny, funny way of helping you out, helping you out. Thank you.
Carmynn Bradley, everybody, make sure to look out for her and follow her social media accounts from her handles that she mentioned early in the interview. Thank you so much for being here and
Thank you for having me.
blessing us with this amazing music and amazing song, your cover version of Alanis Morissette. So everyone, make sure to not go anywhere because we're going to be back after the break talking still. But everyone, applaud Carmynn Bradley one more time, everybody. Thank you so much for being on here, and we will see you after the break.
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
What affects your credit? The answer can be many things. Let's take a look at a few of the most common factors and how they can impact your credit. Credit history. In order to have a credit score, you need to have open and active credit accounts. This gives you the opportunity to build a credit score and get approved for larger purchases such as a car or a home. So it's important to have a responsible record of debt repayment. Available credit and usage. The rule of thumb is to use 30% of your available credit to minimize the impact of debt on your credit score. In other words, the less credit you use, the better. Monthly on-time payments. By making sure your monthly payments are paid on time, you could boost your credit score. Late payments, however, may bring your score down. Errors on your credit report. Check your credit report regularly to make sure it's accurate. If there are any errors or signs of identity theft, report them immediately to the appropriate credit bureau. Applications for credit. If you're applying for credit, filling out several applications in a short amount of time may hurt your credit score. It's ideal to keep the applications to a minimum. However, there is an allowable shopping window for a mortgage. Remember, a good credit score could possibly save you in interest payments. If your credit score needs some improvement, however, consider starting with the basics mentioned here. And when you're ready to buy your dream home, give New American Funding a call. We'll help you find a home loan that works for you and your unique situation.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. I'm your host Priscilla Moy, and we had an amazing show just now with our amazing guests Amber and Carmynn. Everything kind of summed up to be what it was. If you guys did see the show prior to this one that went live called Striptease, we did talk about certain topics, including maritime culture, the Titanic, and also Instagrammable places in Las Vegas. But we did kind of go around the realm of what everything is about Las Vegas. And people that come here, everyone has at least one thing in common, which I love about being a host, meeting these guests, meeting people that are around the city and doing all of these things, because I learned so much about different cultures, about different lifestyles, about what drives people to do what they do, because we all kind of get stuck into what we do and our selfish mindset of like, okay, this is what our thing is today, this is what I'm doing, me, 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 me. But I love coming here at least once a week and talking about things and about other people and hearing their why, their how, their what, and what they foresee in the future for themselves and the legendary that they leave behind. So as always, we come here live in studio in real time. We are now broadcasting our shows every day on socialmediashows.com, so you can revisit episodes if you did miss the live version that happens on the actual day of filming. So you can go there, rewatch them, share with your friends, share to everyone, comment your thoughts. Let us know what things that you like, don't like. We are all open, all ears. If you guys are interested in either sponsoring the show, you guys have something that you want to advertise, like either during our commercial breaks or on the show. We have so many shows and social media shows that you can be a part of anybody's, not just mine. But please email the famous address, which is admin@socialmediashows.com, which will be your to-go-to for anything regarding social media shows. You can be in contact directly with production, and they will help you with that. So as always, I'm going to close out today's amazing show. I know it's your favorite show out of the whole network, but I am your host, Priscilla Moy, so make sure to constantly be up to date with everything that we're doing here, and along with all of our guests and hosts and producers' lives that are happening to make this a possibility and a dream come true. So I will see you next week here in studio live at 3 p.m.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provides.